In this introduction, we're looking at developing the idea of using flowcharts. The flowchart shows the order in which we carry out a number of tasks. So we're given an example here, and it says, in what order do you put socks and runners? So we're looking at putting the socks on, then the runners. So it says, copy this flowchart and arrange the photos in the correct order by writing the letter A, B, C, or D in the boxes. So we're going to start off with photo B. Photo B, the person is barefooted, so that comes first. The next thing they're going to do is put on their socks. So in photo D, they've put their socks on. So there is an arrow going from box B to the box with a D in it. Once they've put on their socks, they're going to put their runners on. That is photo A. Lastly, once they've put their runners up, they're going to tie the laces up. That is photo C. B is done before D. D is done before A. A is done before C. B says, write the operations listed at right above to match the arrows. From B to D, the socks were put on. So socks were put on. D to A. D, we went from having socks on and then putting our runners on. So we're now going to put on runners. Then from A to C, the laces were tied up, so ties, laces. So what we have done is we have represented the photos in the order in which they would have happened, and then the arrows represent what happened from photo B to photo D, what happened from photo D to photo A, what happened from photo A to photo C. In this example, it says to us, look at this flowchart, which shows what happens to a starting number and in number. So in this case, 2 is in. To produce the final result, the out number, the final result is the last number, which is 11. So 2 is in, 11 is out. So part A, what is the starting number? We're starting with 2. B, what are the two operations shown? We're going from 2 to 6 by multiplying by 3. So the first operation is timesing by 3. We're then going from 6 to 11 by adding 5. So the second operation is plus 5. C, which operation is performed first? We go 2 times 3 is 6. So multiplying by 3 is first. Why? Because we've started with the in number, which is the first number, and we have then times that by 3 to give the middle number, the next number in the sequence. We have followed the arrow from 2 to 6. D, what is the final result? The final result is the out number, which is 11. Question 3 says, copy and complete these flowcharts by performing each operation in the order shown by the arrows. Part A, we start off with a 4 in the first box and the arrow points to a blank box, and above the arrow it says times 2. So we go 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. The arrow from the 8 goes to the new blank box, and on the arrow it says plus 6. So we go 8 plus 6 is 14. In part B, we're given the 14 in the right-hand side, and the arrows are pointing towards the left. So we're starting at 14, and we're going back to the middle square. So to go back to the middle square, the arrow says minus 6. So we're going 14 minus 6. 14 minus 6 is 8. From the 8 back to the box on the left, it says divide 2. 8 divide 2 is 4. Now we're going to look at that in question 4. It says, following a flowchart from the final result is the out box, to the starting number, which is the in box, is called backtracking. We are working backwards. What do you notice about the flowcharts in question 3? Okay, firstly, in A, we started at 4, went to 8, and went to 14, from left to right. In B, we were working backwards. We started at 14, went backwards to 8, and we went backwards to 4. So we've got the same 3 numbers. Part B gets us to look at this a little bit more. It says, compare the operations used to backtrack with those to move forward stepping, which could be described as inverse operations. So what are inverse operations? Inverse operations are opposites to each other. They, if you like, cancel each other out. So multiplication is an inverse operation to divide. Divide is an inverse operation to times. Plus is an inverse operation to minus. Minus is an inverse operation to plus. So if we were to use numbers like we have in question 3, if I said I have an operation which is multiplying by 2, like I have in A, the inverse operation to that, or the opposite to that, is dividing by 2, which is what I have in the matching position in the backward tracking flowchart. Similarly, if I had dividing by 3, the inverse operation to that would be timesing by 3. Back to 3a. In 3a, I have plus 6. So the inverse operation to adding 6 is subtracting 6, which is what we have in that position for backtracking. Similarly, if I had a question which had -5, the inverse operation to that is +5. They cancel each other out. In this example, we're asked to complete this flowchart. We have a 7, and we're told to +3. 7 plus 3 is 10. So I'm going to write 10 in the next box. We then have divided by 5 on the arrow. So we're now going to do 10 divided by 5, which is 2. We've now completed the flowchart. In the second example, it says copy and complete this flowchart. We have the flowchart written for us. Show the inverse operations needed to backtrack to the starting number. So what we've been given is times by 9. The inverse operation then will be divide by 9. We are given the second operation is +4. So the inverse operation to plus is minus, so we will have -4. In the third example, it says to us, draw a flowchart and use backtracking to find the mystery number in this description. So we're given a sentence that we will have to interpret. It says a mystery number is multiplied by 3 and then has 5 subtracted from it. And the final answer is 19. So we now have to work out the mystery number. So it's told us the final result is 19. There have been 2 operations that have occurred. So that means I need to find 2 other numbers. The mystery number is the number in the first box. So we're told a mystery number is multiplied by 3 and then has 5 subtracted from it. So I have filled in times 3 above the first arrow and -5 above the second arrow. Now we're going to work backwards. So I'll do the working out in backwards in blue. To go from 19 to the middle number, I need to do the inverse operation to -5, which is +5. 19 plus 5 is 24. I now need to go back one more step, one more operation to get to the mystery number. So from the mystery number to the middle number, I multiplied by 3. So the inverse operation will be divide by 3. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So 8 is the mystery number.